Hello there. All right, I watched the movie Raid, and this movie took a while to get to. Because first of all, I have access to it on Hulu, but for some reason, Hulu does not have subtitles for their Indian cinema. They do not have subtitles. I do not know why. It should have subtitles for everything. It should have subtitles, but no, there are no subtitles there. So what the heck? So I had to basically rip it off of Hulu, and I had to. That's the only way to watch it. So I did watch it there technically, but I ripped it from there, and then I had to add subtitles on top of it, and then I had to sync the subtitles with the video, and then I had to render them all together, and then I could finally watch it. And keep in mind, each one of those things is like a 2-hour process, give or take, because the subtitles I have to flush out to the length of the movie on top of a green screen. The movie, I have to let it play through completely in order to, just to have the entire film. And then I had to paste them on top of each other and render them, and the rendering process does take about the same time as the entire film. So it took around 6-7 hours, and there's the syncing of the audio and everything. So checking back and forth in the middle, and the middle, for some reason, the subtitles didn't sync. It was for like 10-20 minutes at the very center of the film. The subtitles were shifted over a little more than they should have, but it was fine. It worked out. I was able to catch along. I just made sure to read the subtitles way in advance to what was being said. So I knew what was coming. But yeah, it worked out for me. The movie, absolutely amazing. The movie, I didn't expect it to. It was talked about for so much, but it was just like all the work I had to put into it. I was kind of annoyed at the beginning because I was just like, ugh, I put in a lot of work in this. It better be good. And it starts off with basically this guy. It literally immediately happened. The guy shows up, and it's based off true events. Oh my gosh, the stories at the end was the dreadful part. This seems like an impossible job. They're paid absolutely nothing, and they're literally putting their lives on the line because they're trying to find these people who are incredibly wealthy with dirty money, who can easily get these people killed off for nothing. So of course a lot of these people will become dirty. But this guy basically gets transferred because he's consistently transferred for, I don't know, I guess he's just too by the book that it's hard for people to work with him. So he gets transferred to this location, and he immediately hears of this dirty location, the White House. Get the White House is the dirtiest, which honestly, I can agree with that. But it's like the White House is the dirtiest, and he goes for it. And his own people that he has with him are calling every single location, letting them know there's going to be a raid. I don't know if it's going to be your place, but he didn't give us any information. And of course, he's going to the one place no one dared think that would be the place. But the fact that his own people were, corrupt, but that works. It was absolutely phenomenal. His own people refused, like one of them refused to set foot in the house, refused to go raid that place because, well, that person has all the money. He owns the town, and everyone sees him as this godlike figure, even though he's completely corrupt. And the whole thing took place in the matter of 30 minutes. He was raiding the house. So I was confused. I was like, where the heck is it going to go from here? I thought the whole story was about him planning this huge investigation, and then at the very end, he was going to raid it. No, the real story is the fact that while he's raiding it, it takes several days to find everything. He thinks he raided the wrong place because he can't find a single thing. And then his wife gives him words of encouragement. He looks at a map and finds out this is fake. This wall is fake. This there should be stuff buried here. This pillar isn't real. These staircases aren't real. And it starts breaking everything. And in my mind, I'm like, there should be a way to access all this stuff. There should be, because he's breaking everything. There should be a way to open that pillar. There should be a way to slide back the steps. There should be a way to access this. The only one that made sense to me was the one where it was just the HVAC system on top of the storm drain, and you just move the HVAC system to get down to the riches. That made sense. Why? Because people who are corrupt and need access to dirty money need to have access to dirty money. The fact that they buried it in their yard, the fact that they did all this extra stuff just seemed like, why? Maybe that was just in case it ever got all stolen, they would have a nest egg. So I guess that does make sense. So if they ever found the storm drain, they could have this stuff in the pillar. They could have this stuff in the staircase. They could have this stuff in the wall, in the ceiling, all that extra stuff. It was just absolutely tense the entire time. The fact that he's completely by the book, not accepting bribes, but then he breaks his own rules by letting the guy go based off emotion, because he allows his emotions to take over and he lets this guy go, which was a big mistake. But then in the end, every time this guy got people to call him off, he would request something that would make it take even longer. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. This movie was absolutely like intense because it seemed so down to earth, so real. It wasn't the overly action-packed film you get from India. It was a very grounded movie, and I liked that. The fact that it's like a real world hero, not this guy who's taking on thousands of people, destroying them all with slow motion action. He can't get touched. No. This is someone who can get hurt. This is someone who is so down to earth. He has a family that can, or a wife that is attacked, is hurt, and he has to continue to do his job because he is an honorable man. I love that aspect. I really do respect that in a film. That was so great, so well done. I can't say enough about this movie, about the fact that it was just so grounded. And it's rare to see that, honestly. Even in most things now are going to the over ridiculousness over reality. And when it ends, and the fact that he's moved to another station after gaining all the respect of everyone, he's moved to a different station. And the fact that it ends, and then you see these credit rolls of people who have died in that line of work. Someone thrown into a cement truck, and the only thing that stopped that person from dying was the cries of his wife calling out and basically explaining things. But oh my gosh, being thrown into a cement truck as it's mixing. You're supposed to wear a mask when dealing with when dealing with heavy amounts of cement, because if you inhale that stuff, it can do a lung problem, massive lung problems. Not as much as coal. Now imagine being thrown into a cement mixer with coal inside. Now that is a terrible way. If you think about it, that would be absolutely worse than cement. But still, he was going to die to liquid cement being crushed and ending up swallowing it as it goes. So it's just bad. I had a visual the second I read that. So this movie's absolutely phenomenal. The fact that they give you glimpses of what it's really like at the end, perfectly well done. And this movie just worked. It just worked. The pacing worked. I thought it was over the second he got to the house. I was like, well, the big mystery's already been solved. But no, it was just escalating even more and more. And the emotions get to him. He allows the guy to leave. And the guy basically creates an army to go and free him from the house. So yeah, politicians, oh my gosh, gotta despise them. The fact they use the will of the people to make themselves incredibly rich and wealthy, and the people who don't know any better believe that these people are holier than thou when they have always just manipulated and used. They're a politician. That's what they do. The politicians are worse than lawyers. And honestly, they would make even amazing lawyers. Politicians would probably be the best lawyers in the world. However, they choose to go to politics because, honestly, selling out your country, selling out people is far more wealthy than defending someone in a courtroom. Yeah, it's far more wealthy. Far more wealth there. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. I liked this movie. Raid is actually a good movie. I despise Hulu for not having subtitles. It's kind of aggravating that this has happened multiple times where I'd go there to watch a movie and it does not have subtitles. I'm literally staring mouth agape as I'm like, oh, I understand. He said, "Tike, that's okay. That's fine. I get it." And then he'll say like another word and I'm like, okay. He said no. Okay, he said yes. The rest of the sentence, I don't understand. But yeah, it's just one of those things that you just accept. I hated Hulu for doing that, but I was like, all right, I'll do it myself. I'll put it on there myself. And I did. I absolutely did. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you next time. Doodles.